What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. Happy New Year. Amazing stuff. Let's get right into it. Happy 2024. Topics to be covered today. What are we talking about today? Today we're talking about surrendering to nothing. Surrendering to nothing, which means surrendering to the real you. Well, we're gonna get into it today. Just some things that I realized that I think that are pretty insightful in my opinion, right? So let's make sure you tell your peoples about the show. But first, really quick, hit that like button, smack it. Lay the smack down on like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we can get the subscribers up and the message out. You still got time. Do it now. Also, it is a talk show, so you can call in at 888-775-3773. We got some callers on the line here, too, that are holding. Hold on, callers. I will get to you soon. There are still some lines open as well, so you can call in at any point and talk about anything. 888-775-3773. Do me a favor. Also, go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. And if you'd like to support the show and have a message or a question that you would like to get read out loud, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV and donate a donut. Not an actual donut, of course, but a donut in the form of a donation. Right? Amazing stuff. Or you can send a super chat directly in the chat box here on YouTube. YouTube does have that function, so you do have that option. Amazing stuff. What's up, chat? YouTube chat, how y'all? And what's up, Instagram chat, how y'all? Hope everyone's doing well. Somebody in the chat is saying Joel will take 3 calls. You don't know me. You don't know. We shall see. We shall see what happens. You might be right, but we'll see. So let's get right into it, because there was a little bit of time that was taken away from me there in the beginning. Just trying to get everything right. You know, the new year, Satan trying to get busy and prevent shows from happening. But we got some experts behind the scenes, professionals, getting it done. Or maybe it's the professionals that are messing it up. We don't know. But anyway, I want to say this really quick before I get into the topic, because I was scrolling on Instagram right now and I saw a post that was kind of alarming, and I wanted to definitely talk about it. You guys all know who Kanye West is, and you guys all know, his story and everything that's been going on, and how he's been in the media and the comments he's made, and just his whole personality over his career and all different kind of things. You know who he is. He's a rapper, also a a designer, a clothing designer, fashion designer. He's very talented, very innovative, very smart as well. And there's not really many other artists that we've seen as talented and as like multi-faceted as Kanye West is. But nonetheless, don't follow this man. Okay? Don't follow this man. And not that he doesn't have good things to say sometimes. And don't follow anybody in the first place, right? Nobody should be followed. No man should be followed, because men are flawed. All men and women, were flawed as human beings. And we make mistakes. And sometimes we believe that we're right, and then sometimes we're wrong. So you don't follow anybody. We're supposed to look at all people as the same and equal, simply because everyone's on the path to finding God, doing what's right. And sometimes we make mistakes along the way. So you don't want to follow somebody's pattern blindly, because they may be leading you the wrong way. So you never want to follow anybody. You're only supposed to follow God, and God is within. You're supposed to go and look within. But nonetheless, Kanye West is definitely a prominent figure in the industry, and he said a lot of things that I agree with. And I think that his heart means well, and he's on the side of trying to do the right things and say the right things, right? But he's also been doing some crazy stuff. And I'm scrolling on Instagram, and obviously his big thing right now is that he's been separated for a long time from his children, meaning like he only gets visitation rights. He's not in the home with his children because obviously the divorce between him and Kim Kardashian West, formerly known as Kim Kardashian West. They're divorced now, and he's remarried. But now he only has visitation rights to see his children and all these things, and he's, saying that they're taking my children away and all that stuff. And a lot of fathers, have to deal with that stuff, and a lot of the times it's unrightfully so, meaning like the courts aren't on the men's side. Sometimes children don't have any visitation rights. I mean, the fathers don't have any visitation rights at all. And it happens vice versa for the mothers sometimes too, but it's very small in comparison to the fathers. And sometimes it's justified, but sometimes, a lot of the times it's unjustified. It's wrongdoing that the courts are doing against the fathers, not allowing them to see their children as much as they want. And also, a lot of the times, and this is not to pick on women, but a lot of the times women do it to get back at the man or hurt the man by taking his children away from him. And sometimes it's rightfully so, like I said. But anyway, I say all that to say is that don't follow this man, because I'm watching on his Instagram feed, and I've been watching like lately. He's been like, he's so preaching. He doesn't want his daughter to be subjectified to the beauty that the Kardashian women have set for society as far as revealing clothes and showing too much, and he doesn't want his daughter to follow in those footsteps. And I respect that, as a father, right? I respect that. But then on the other hand, he's got his wife posing on his Instagram basically naked. You can go look right now, Kanye West Instagram, basically naked. And she's showing literally pretty much everything. Like pretty much all that can be shown without getting taken down on Instagram is being shown. And it's not so much of that's being done. It's not so much of her being almost naked. It's the fact that you don't want your daughter to do it, but yet you got your wife in the public doing it, your current wife doing it. And it's just kind of like, okay, well, what message are you preaching here? And I know that us as human beings, we're hypocrites. We're all hypocrites. We say one thing and do the other, and I'm victim of that too. So it's not judgment either of putting them down, but it's just also acknowledging and pointing out that, come on. You know what I mean? And, he says so many things that I agree with, but also I'm like, okay, well, like, are you listening to what you're saying? Are you listening? And are you understanding the impact that you have truly? Because you want people to understand the impact. You want everybody to know, like, listen to what I say. This is basically what he says without saying it. Listen to what I have to say. I'm trying to wake you guys up. I'm trying to do this. But then you got your wife looking crazy on, well, she don't look crazy. Let's be real here, right? But, the point is still the point. And lastly, what I want to say about that, I want to get to my topic today, is that, like, we all got things that we're trying to deal with, we're trying to overcome, right? And when it comes from men, a lot of that issue is, lust and desires and stuff like that. That's they say the last things that you have to overcome before you die is sex and food. Lord have mercy, whoever came up with that, genius. But I mean, there's things that obviously that men deal with, all people deal with behind closed doors that cause, can be problematic to our lives, right? But the point is that though we have those things, we deal with them in the comfort of our own home, right? And we're not supposed to impose those things on society, at least do our best not to, right? And the gays and the transgenders and even the straight people even the rappers with the drugs and the sex and the women, right? Like, on some scale, we may be able to relate to all those sins, right? Like everybody, right? Those addictions, those cravings, those desires. But we're not all supposed to impose it on the world in the public. You deal with your issues in secret, right? In private. You know what I mean? Like, and you let that be. And when you find yourself in the public square, you conduct yourself in such a way to where it's decent. You know what I mean? It's light, it's kind, it's respectful. You conduct yourself as you should in public. And then if you want to do the crazy stuff or the wild stuff or deal with your, the demons that you got, in your life or you're dealing with within, you deal with that in the comfort of your own home, in your own space, with your own people, right? You know what I mean? Like, you don't impose it on the world. And I think a big reason why we are where we are in the world is because everybody wants to be accepted for being themselves, which I agree. You should accept being yourself, and people should accept you for being yourself. But it doesn't give you the right to impose your problems, your issues onto the rest of the world, and we just got to deal with it. You know what I mean? And that's the part I don't agree with. There's things that don't necessarily have to be put. Everybody has at least enough common sense to know, like, okay, this shouldn't be out in the public, right? But obviously the media and these wrong influences would tell you, like, just let it all hang out. Just be yourself. And you should be yourself. But to an extent, when you're in public, you always should act as decent as possible. Just to be, and it's not even to be fake, it's just to be respectful to all. To be respectful to all. You conduct yourself in public respectfully. And in private, or even not even necessarily in private, but just in your own world, you can do what you want, right? But when you're jumping online and you're doing all these things, you don't want to, like, celebrate your problems. And that's what I feel like Kanye West is also doing. He's preaching, but he's also celebrating his problems. You know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't, and then you identify as a Christian, it doesn't make the Christians look good. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know if that all made sense, but I just had to say that because I'm looking at, I'm just looking at the things that he's posting, and then he did a live rant, and on his rant, he's talking so fast and so loud that he's not even finishing his words. He's stumbling over his words and he's slurring his words. And these are all like signs of like over emotional. You know what I mean? These are all signs of like anger. And that's not a stable person. And it doesn't mean that what he's saying is not true. Right? But even the truth has to have the right energy behind it. It has to have the right energy behind it, or it's not gonna, everybody's gonna hear it and not receive it. So it's like, come on, we gotta at least try to be aware of ourselves and get it right. Maria Baldo with the super chat says, Joel, quick question. Since you're Creole French, Where is your family from in Louisiana? Because I'm also half Creole and my dad's from Lake Charles. To be honest, I don't even know. All around there in Louisiana. But what I'll do is I'll find out and then I'll let you know because I'm not sure. I've only been there a couple times and I was really little. I do want to go back. I feel like I'm being like driven to go back. And I want to go back to Louisiana and just visit. You know what I mean? But yeah, most of my family, my dad actually didn't come out to California until he was 25. So he grew up out there. I still have a lot of family out there. So on both sides, they come from Louisiana. So that's in the blood for sure. But I'll check. I'll find out and then I'll let you know. But anyway, that's all I had to say about Kanye. Just put some space there and also just, man, let's be real about what we see and let's be honest and not take sides too. You know what I mean? Let's just be real about the situation. It's like and watch ourselves. If we're going to say one thing, we got to, and this goes for me too. If I'm going to say one thing, then, you know, I got to make sure I'm also being honest when I don't, at least with myself, when I don't follow through or when I'm not behaving the way that I'm speaking. So pray for the man. Because that's what he needs, prayer too, because everybody is attacking him. He is getting attacked, and it's a spiritual battle. So the real attacks are coming from within. The enemy is always busy on the mind. So yeah, pray for the boy. Anyway, that wasn't even part of the plan. Let's get to the plan. How you guys doing? Am I sounding okay on Instagram and YouTube? Everything going well? Just making sure. So it's a new year, 2024, and I'm gonna get some calls right now. And oh man, there's so much to cover too, and there's calls on the line here. I'm gonna get to some calls. I realized some deep stuff over the break, and I want to talk about it. Should I get to one call? Should I get to a call, chat? Let me get to a call. Because I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long. And then I'll get to my actual message. I don't know what. Let's see where the show goes. We'll see what happens. Let me get to John, a first-time caller out of Houston, Texas. John, welcome to the show, man. You're on there.
Hey, man. You know, God's ways are beyond us. How are you doing, man?
All is well, man. Are you on a speakerphone?
No, I'm in a bathroom.
Oh, okay.
I'm leaving the bathroom.
Oh, okay. All right, you're good. What's going on, man?
Man, I wanted to ask you something.
Yes, sir.
Because God put this on my heart when I was watching the JLP show. And, well, I'm just going to ask you the question. What do you think that preachers are feeling when they say, man, I'm on fire right now. I'm preaching and I'm on fire.
What I think of preachers. Oh. It could.
And I was dealing with this. I know the answer.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
But I was dealing with it. And so I thought it'd be okay to call in and talk about it.
When you say you're dealing with it, what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Like, my whole life, I've been obsessed with sin, right? I've been obsessed with sin before I found bond and everything. But then So I've been cleaning on my life this past month, during Christmas, and I've been really cleaning on my life, and I've been depressed, and I didn't have a job or whatever, but my dad's been in the hospital. He has cancer. Doesn't have a long time. And, so I was like, okay, well, I'm just living on the street. I'm going to go back and see my family before the new year starts. And, get right with them.
Right.
And so when I got back, I found out he was going into surgery. But I was wondering why am I so depressed right now? Because I have all the answers. And I've had all the answers. I've been doing everything that Jesse says to do. Silent prayer morning and night. And, but like I'm homeless. I was smoking pot again. And, so I left my dad's house where we were smoking pot because that was getting between me and Jesus and everything.
Right.
Well, my question is, what do you think these preachers are feeling when they say, I'm on fire right now, and they're preaching up a storm on the stage and they're angry?
Yeah. Well, really quick, I'm gonna get to that, but when you're saying that you're depressed right now and you're homeless and all these things are going on in your life, what exactly are you saying that you're feeling?
I'm feeling that
could you say
I'm not like working on myself. I'm not working on myself,
You're not,
I'm just like
what do you mean
doing
by
things, cutting things out.
What do you mean by
out of my
not?
life.
What do you mean by not working on yourself? What do you mean? What are you not doing?
Well, this was what God told me, that I wasn't looking at my faith. I wasn't looking at my faith that it's like I was looking at everything else. And, like I'm looking like a man of God, so then I'm going to get this, or I'm doing this, so then I'm going to get this, but not seeking God. But
so you were doing all the right things in a physical way, but spiritually, you weren't right.
No, and I was hung up on words because I actually got like in confrontations and stuff, and like I just went right back to my old ways after. I went right back to being angry.
Yeah.
And like I just on purpose, I just got angry and stuff.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, just to gather, there's so many questions to be asked just to properly understand what's going on. But just from what I gathered, or what you're saying is that, well, for one, you never fell back into anger because it never left. It was still there, right? So you never, and that was a setup that you had in the mind. And that's what Satan does, is that he'll make us believe that we're over it, it's done, it's gone. And then when it happens again, we feel bad about ourselves. We judge ourselves, right? It's never left. You know what I mean? Because if it left, there is no left, come back. It's just still there. You were just convinced by a thought that wasn't true that it was gone, if that makes sense, for one. And
like its whole journey for me began when I wanted to like start street preaching and stuff like that. And I don't know.
And street preaching too, just really quick, street preaching oftentimes come from a place of wanting to save people, and that's really comes from the ego, which comes from anger. So a lot of street preachers think that they're doing in the name of Jesus, they're helping, but they're only doing it in the name of ego, in the name of themselves. And nobody wants to sit there and hear them preach. I hear those guys, they're in my neighborhood, they're street preachers all the time, and they're on my street just screaming, and it's just, it sounds annoying, and it's like people just want you to be quiet. You know what I mean? But anyway,
yeah, I like this guy. I like this guy in Houston. He's got a mega church. I'm not going to say his name, but
yeah.
I like this guy. I like these guys. These guys don't have like regular faith though. They don't have regular healthy faith that, you know, Jesse talks doesn't really like go into, but he's all about it, but that bond, it's like a regular faith, you know.
Yeah.
And you got it. I can see it on the show, and I love the show, man. And
Appreciate it, man.
you're always so above everything.
Man, I'm learning just like you. You know, I'm still I'm keeping my eyes on myself. That's what's helping me. I'm keeping my eyes on myself, but I still have those feelings sometimes too. Those things still rise, and I'm not separate from them, or I'm no better. But I'm just learning more and more that, for one, which may be helpful, I'm learning more and more, for one, that it's not me. Recognizing that I know that I'm believing into something that's not true, that's making me feel it, right? And what's happening is...
which is just like Kanye West. It's just like Kanye West.
Right. And that's the thing, is that, like, it's all just based off of a thought, and the judgment about it is like, that's so bad, that's so good, is what makes you feel something. And then when we feel it, then that's when it got us, because then we're locked in. But what I learned, what I'm learning still, is that when you said faith, when you brought up faith, is that the reason why we're wrestling so much oftentimes is because we're not surrendering to faith, meaning like letting go completely.
I don't even want to go look for a job or anything. I mean, I donate plasma and I get some money, and then I just like sleep in my truck, and I don't want to.
But why not? Why don't you? Are you doing a silent prayer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm doing it. And then I had this like, I started smoking pot. That's what happened, because first my dad got sick. It was going to be a big, long road. I knew that already.
Right.
And I didn't know what to do. I quit my job and moved back to Houston.
Why did you quit your
and moved in with him?
Oh, okay, because you wanted to take care of him. And why don't you work now? Why are you homeless? And why are you choosing to be homeless?
Well, it has to do with I don't know, but I think that pot had something to do with it. So when I left, I wasn't going to be getting high anymore. So
when you left, so you're not getting high now?
I left at the beginning of December.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't going to be smoking any pot.
So you're not smoking now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Thank God.
And how come you don't just get a job instead of doing the plasma thing? And that's good that you stopped smoking if you don't feel like it's benefiting, and you see that it's not benefiting.
Well, yeah, that's because I was hung up on this. I was hung up on what you said, that my ego was taking credit, and there was like a dysfunction there.
And is that why you feel like it's hard to get back to work, or why are you not working? I'm like
a creative person.
Okay.
You know, my ego doesn't like bump up against other egos well.
Okay.
And
just really quick.
And there's that. I was hung up on that.
Okay, let me just say this really quick because I got to get to some other calls here. But it's such a good call, and I don't want to cut it short, but I just got to say this.
Yeah, man, I wanted to like, because the subject of this video is so like in alignment with what I wanted to talk to you about since I realized that I needed to stop trying to make faith and just start working on faith, you know. But
here's the thing is that like all you need to do, and this is what's helping me, and this is just my suggestion. All you need to do is not stop trying to do something. You know what I mean? You know that you need to get back to work because I just thought about this recently because all last week for the holiday break, I was just relaxing and not doing much, but I didn't enjoy that as much as I thought I would because I realized the scripture that popped out to me. It said, the idle mind is the devil's playground. If you do nothing for too long, the devil will get busy in your mind. And then you'll start thinking these thoughts and you start believing them and you start feeling. So if you're not working and you're not staying busy enough, at least working, especially, you know, as a guy, as a man, it's not good. It's not good for you. You want to make sure that you're working, you're staying busy as much as possible. So that way, and you do have that. You still want to make sure you have downtime, but you want to make sure you're working. So that way,
I was working on myself. During this time, I had some drawing materials.
No,
and I was working on that, and I knew how to work on that.
But I'm talking about like paying the bills, like an actual job that's not has to do with art. So you don't want to just focus on the stuff that you enjoy doing. Like, you know, That'd be great if you can work full time and you were getting paid for that, but that's not the case right now. Right now you have to work and pay the bills and provide for yourself and take care of your responsibilities. And then with your free time, which there will be free time, you'll be able to do the other things that you enjoy doing. And then eventually, if you want them to make money from that, they can. But you got to make sure you get back to work. You don't want to just be donating plasma.
I have to have a place where I can take a shower and everything. So there's like homeless shelters and stuff, and I didn't want to do that either. I knew I needed to do that. I knew the steps I needed to do.
Yeah,
I've done this before. So.
Well, you just don't want to get comfortable there, man, because that's not a life. That's not a life for yourself. And maybe it's easy and it's convenient right now. You don't got to pay rent or whatever, but that's not a life. That's not a life. You know what I mean? That's just getting by and that's comfort. And you want to be able to survive and live and enjoy your life. And and you're depressed. You know what I mean? And by living that lifestyle, it's not going to bring you peace. You know what I mean? You want to work. We're supposed to work. You're supposed to be working. And sometimes
my whole life, though, I've been obsessed with sin. I've been always the opposite. We would break into a church and skateboard in the church and stuff. And when I was in high school and stuff.
Do me a favor, John. We can get more into this. Call me again. I have to move forward, and only because the lines are full here. I want to finish with you, but I gotta make time for the other callers. Call me back again, and we'll pick up where we left off if you remember. Can you do that?
Okay, Joe, man. Next time I call, it's going to be better, man. I'm going to be in a better spot.
And no worries, man. And call me early or two on in the show so that way I can pick up sooner. We'll have more time. But thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Have a nice one.
All right, you too.
Love the show, man.
Thank you, man. All right. Man, there's just so much to get into. I just don't have the time. But let me get to some more calls. Let's just go to some calls. Let me go to Jaime. Jaime, a first-time caller out of California. Jaime, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna make this quick as I can, Joel.
Yes, sir.
So I just have this question. Before the New Year, I saw a short video of Jesse was talking to you.
Yeah. About
advising you leaving your parents at the age of 25.
Yeah.
And I want to ask, how do you really did that? Because honestly, Joel, I want to, yeah, it's going to be embarrassing but I'm 27
Yeah.
and I really had to leave my parents' house. And I want to do what Jesse Lee Peterson did, just get a house with no money down payment. And again, how do you actually got a house at the age of 25?
No. See, I didn't get a house, no. And I still don't have a house now. And I mean, obviously that's the goal. I'm just going with the flow of life right now. For me, I live on my own. I don't live with anybody. I live by myself. And for me, it's about making a life for yourself. I don't think you should focus on having a home. And those things are great. Like eventually we should be able to buy a home. That's what you want to you want to have a home, right? Your own home. But the point is making a living for yourself in general and taking care of your responsibilities. So even if you can get a roommate or a little small room to rent, that's just as independent. The point is having your own independence and growing up and being a man. So I wouldn't focus too much on trying to save up to get a house, in my opinion. Just get out there. And actually, the more you get out there, you actually find you're developing that hustle inside of you. And you'll be able to pick up more things and do other things and make more money to eventually get you to where you need to go. So you want to just be out there. You want to struggle. You want to suffer. You don't want it to be easy. And that's what's going to help that nature grow as a man. So I would just say get out. Get out the parents' house. Even if you got to get a roommate, you got to make sure it's decent people, obviously, that you're okay with. And then, or just rent a little room from somebody else who's looking to rent a room.
Yeah, so that's the problem, Joel. I went around my area to find a place, and the apartments are booked, and a lot of people are on the wait list. And the best thing I could do right now is to go somewhere like 45 minutes away from my place. Yeah. Because there's like places available, but they're actually expensive. And I guess right now for me, what I'm trying to do right now is I'm going to try to change a different career so I can probably at least make more money. And I guess, do you advise me just to leave and just suffer, I guess?
No, I mean, you want to make sure that you can survive, right? You don't want, if you can't afford it and you just try to make yourself afford, you want to be able to pay the bills. So if you have to get a better job, that's the next step for you to do. The next step is for you to get a better job, or get 2 jobs, 2 or multiple jobs, 2 or 3 jobs, work weekends, 1 job, full time, whatever. There's enough time in your day, and you sound young. You have enough energy to work 3, 4 jobs if you needed to, and just get a little small place that's on your own or with roommates or whatever, but to be away from your parents, and then you could work on saving money and doing stuff that. But right now it seems like the next thing you see to do is find a second job or a third job or a better paying job. And then once you get that, then you can move forward. Just work on each step at a time.
And the last I'm going to say to you is the best thing I'm doing right now, Joe, is because I want to change my career, because I'm working at the kindergarten, and I want to become a data analyst. And the great thing about that is you don't need a college degree, which is amazing. Yeah. And the best thing I'm doing right now, Joel, is just trying to learn and work, trying to learn how to become a data analyst, which is like computer science stuff. Yeah. And at the same time, just focus on my business that I'm doing, and talent that I believe I had that I shouldn't let it go. Do you think it's the best thing I can do at the moment?
You say you don't have to go to school to be a data analyst, or you have to take some programs, or how do you become that?
So this I don't have to go to school for that.
Oh, you don't have to.
So,
yeah. But you need like training and stuff like that.
Yeah, like self-taught.
Okay, self-taught training. Okay, well then work a regular job. This is just how I see it, in my opinion. The goal, and you want to make sure you see this for yourself. You know what I mean? You want to make sure you're not moving based off of some advice that you've been given. You want to make sure that you see that this is the right thing for you to do. Because for me, I felt like when I left home, it was time for me to leave home. And when I left, everything started opening up for me. So I feel like, in my opinion, the priority is to leave your parents' home, not stay there, because you're not going to develop that nature in you is not going to develop living at home, right? Because everything is catered, everything's laid out for you. There's nothing that's making you work or push or move forward. You're stuck. You're staying there. And if you move out, then things will start opening up. And that should be the priority, just getting out. And then you can start working on the data analyst or whatever that other stuff is. Your priority is just fixing you, right? Working on yourself, figuring out how you can get better, be a better person for you within. And start there and take those steps, and then you'll see what to do next. But yeah, if you see that you need to leave your parents' house, which I don't see why you feel like you would need to stay at 27, I would focus on just finding a second job or another job and just leaving there so you can start your life.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I believe so.
But do you see that you need to leave, or do you? What is your situation? Real quick, if you could tell me really quick.
Well, it's just been almost, just leave person really advises to, and I do agree with them. But now also that, it says right now, my little brother got in a car accident. He went to do his mother bail him out, which I advised my mom to not do it, but she did it anyways, and she lost a lot of money. And when that happened, I guess a lot of problem going on with the house. And also with my big brother, he has some issue with his girlfriend and my little nephew. Yeah. And there's times that me and my mother had to take care of him. And to the point, I had to tell my mom that, hey, I can't take care of him no more because I gotta do me. Yeah. I can probably take care of him once, twice per week. That's it. I gotta do me. And she agreed with me, which I was surprised about.
Nice. Yeah, you want to get away from that. You want to get away from that, and it's not. If you feel like you want to help here and there, you can, but you got to live your life. You know what I mean? Like 27, I was 25 when I left, and I felt like, I mean, you leave when you need. There shouldn't be no embarrassment or anything like that. You leave when you leave, right? When you realize that it's time for you to leave. But 25, I shouldn't have been at home at 25. So at 27, you need to be living your life. You shouldn't be you don't have kids. You know, it doesn't seem like you're married. So you shouldn't be taking care of a family that's not yours. You know what I mean? You could help out here and there if you want to, but it shouldn't be preventing you from starting a life for yourself. And you don't want to, you know what I mean? You don't want to hold on to that. Get out and go do your thing. And if you want to come back and help here and there, do that. You know what I mean? But you got to do what's best for you. And they'll steal your life away. Sometimes even unconsciously, they'll steal your life away. And next thing you know, you're this old man and, you know, you ain't getting nothing out of life because you're trying to help or you're feeling guilty for your family or whatever the case is. Live your life. Start your life. And then things will start to open up. That's how it happened for me. So that's why I give that advice.
Okay. I'm going to try to smoke on down, Joel.
All right, man. I have to keep the calls going, but thank you, man. Call me again, and we'll talk some more.
All right. Thank you.
All right, no problem, man. Bye. Oh, time. I could take one more call, or maybe if it depends on how quick it goes, and then I'll be able to. And then I got to end the show because the American Anchor Baby's coming in, and you know he got a good show too. So I got to make sure I end on time. Let me go real quick to Frederick. At L.A. Yeah.
You said we should pray for Kanye?
Yeah, we got to pray for him. Wait. Because I got to get to the last call in 2 minutes.
And then you tell me what we
Then I'll tell you.
Huh? Can you get on the mic at least?
Frederick.
What he said he got time to?
Frederick out at Los Angeles. What's going on, man? I'm distracted.
Pray, we didn't tell me.
Who is that in back there? Hassan or Nick?
That's Jesse Lee Peterson.
Oh, you want to pray for Kanye?
No, he's trying to tell me not to pray for Kanye, I think.
Not,
Oh, he's
no, change it. Let them know I didn't say that.
okay. He's not saying that. He's not saying that.
Why we should?
We definitely gonna pray for Kanye.
Oh, go ahead, Frederick, really quick. Say what you have to say because I gotta end the
I
show
was
here.
gonna say that people need to learn and do more research and quit relying on their ego. Just because you have some information, it doesn't mean that you have to share it and always be right about anything. You keep things within, and the less you speak is like even in life, like these boomerang kids, you push them out and you tell them what to do. It's not their own thinking. They're going to come back home because they don't have the smarts to come up with that thought themselves. Those boomerang kids that you push out, they actually have to be molded and feel the spirit that I'm tired of home and this is what I don't want to come back to. They love the easiness. They love the madness.
Right.
They love the uneducated feeling of not being responsible or accountable.
Yeah.
So they're going to cling on to it. And the more you be the reason, you pushed me out too early. You told me to get out of the house. And they just need anything to cling on to makes it not their fault. You have a good day, Joel. And these boomerang kids going to keep boomeranging until they have a man to show them instead of tell them how to do it on their own.
That's fair, and you make some good points, Frederick. I appreciate it. Thank you, man, for making it
All
brief,
right.
too.
You have a great night. Yeah, a great day.
You as well, man. Bye. Right on. Yeah, that's why it's tough to, when people ask certain things and you want to give advice because, you don't want people to cling on to the advice and just do it, right? You want them to be able to see for themselves to do it. So that it is a fine line between letting people figure it out on their own and then giving them advice. But if they ask for it, you should give it. And that's up to them what they do with it. And if they fly on the wings of it without their own understanding, then that's not your problem anyway. So, hopefully Jaime will see for himself what he should do. But I mean, come on, at 27, it's time to move forward. But don't feel guilty, Jaime, either that you're 27 at home. You know what I mean? Don't beat yourself up about it or feel like I gotta hurry up and rush. You want to just let life happen the way it happens. You're realizing things now, so let now be now what it is, and don't worry about wishing you left earlier or trying to rush the process. Just be present the best you can. Anyway, Lord have mercy. I got to end the show. I didn't get to no topics. Zero. Only Kanye West. And I wanted to get to more, but that's okay. Until next time, we just had to go with the flow. So anyway, Happy New Year. Thank you to the callers. Sorry, the callers that are still on the line. I can't get to you today. I'm sorry about it, but I appreciate you guys calling in. Call me first thing next show, and then I'll get to you guys. I'll try to remember who called in or who's still on the line. But thank you. I got to end the show. The American Anchor Baby is coming in right now. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit that like button, smack it. Tell your peoples about the show so we can get the subscribers up and the message out. Support the show by going to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. Donate a donut. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, YouTube, Instagram, I'll see you. Bye.